On great events. There is an island in the sea, not far from Zarathustra's blessed isles, on which a fire-spewing mountain smokes continually. And the people say of it, and especially the old women among the people say, that it has been placed like a huge rock before the gate to the underworld, and that the narrow path that leads to this gate to the underworld goes through the fire-spewing mountain. Now it was during the time when Zarathustra was staying on the Blessed Isles that a ship anchored at the island with the smoking mountain, and the crew went ashore to shoot rabbits. At noon, however, when the captain and his men were together again, they suddenly saw a man approach through the air, and a voice said distinctly, "It is time. It is high time." And when the shape had come closest to them, and it flew by swiftly as a shadow in the direction of the fire-spewing mountain, then they realized with a great sense of shock that it was Zarathustra. For all of them had seen him before, except the captain, and they loved him as the people love, with a love that is mixed with an equal amount of awe. "Look there," said the old helmsman. "There is Zarathustra descending to hell." At the time these seamen landed on the Isle of Fire, there was a rumor abroad that Zarathustra had disappeared. And when his friends were asked, they said that he had embarked by night without saying where he intended to go. Thus uneasiness arose, and after 3 days the story of the seamen was added to this uneasiness, and now all the people said that the devil had taken Zarathustra. His disciples laughed at such talk, to be sure, and one of them even said, "Sooner would I believe that Zarathustra had taken the devil." But deep in their souls they were all of them full of worry and longing. Thus their joy was great when on the 5th day Zarathustra appeared among them. And this is the story of Zarathustra's conversation with the fire hound. "The earth," he said, "has a skin, and this skin has diseases. One of these diseases, for example, is called man. And another one of these diseases is called Firehound. About him men have told each other and believed many lies. To get to the bottom of this mystery, I went over the sea, and I have seen the truth naked, verily, barefoot up to the throat. Now I am informed concerning the Firehound, and also concerning all scum and overthrow devils, of whom not only old women are afraid. Out with you, Firehound! Out from this depth!" I cried, "and confess how deep this depth is. Whence comes what you are snorting up here? You drink copiously from the sea. Your salty eloquence shows that. Indeed, for a hound of the depth, you take your nourishment too much from the surface." At most, I take you for the earth's ventriloquist, and whenever I have heard overthrow and scum devils talking, I have found them like you, salty, mendacious, and superficial. You know how to bellow and to darken with ashes. You are the best braggarts and great experts in the art of making mud seethe. Wherever you are, mud must always be nearby, and much that is spongy, cavernous, compressed, and wants freedom. Freedom is what all of you like best to bellow, but I have outgrown the belief in great events, wherever there is much bellowing and smoke. Believe me, friend hellish noise, the greatest events, they are not our loudest, but our stillest hours. Not around the inventors of new noise, but around the inventors of new values does the world revolve. It revolves inaudibly. Admit it. Whenever your noise and smoke were gone, very little had happened. What does it matter if a town became a mummy and a statue lies in the mud? And this word I shall add for those who overthrow statues. Nothing is more foolish than casting salt into the sea and statues into the mud. The statue lay in the mud of your contempt, but precisely this is its law, that out of contempt life and living beauty come back to it. It rises again with more godlike features, seductive through suffering, and verily, it will yet thank you for having overthrown it, oh, you overthrowers. This counsel, however, I give to kings and churches and everything that is weak with age and weak in virtue. Let yourselves be overthrown, so that you may return to life, and virtue return to you. Thus I spoke before the fire hound. Then he interrupted me crossly and asked, "Church? What is that?" "Church?" I answered. "That is a kind of state, the most mendacious kind. But be still, you hypocritical hound. You know your own kind the best. Like you, the state is a hypocritical hound. Like you, it likes to talk with smoke and bellowing, to make himself believe, like you, that he is talking out of the belly of reality. For he wants to be by all means the most important beast on earth, the state. And they believe him too." When I had said that, the firehound carried on as if crazy with envy. "What?" he cried. "The most important beast on earth, and they believe him too?" And so much steam and so many revolting voices came out of his throat that I thought he would suffocate with anger and envy. At last he grew calmer, and his gasping ceased. And as soon as he was calm, I said, laughing, "You are so angry, firehound, and I am right about you. And that I may continue to be right, let me tell you about another firehound. He really speaks out of the heart of the earth. He exhales gold and golden rain. Thus his heart wants it. What are ashes and smoke and hot slime to him Laughter flutters out of him like colorful clouds. Nor is he well disposed toward your gurgling and spewing and intestinal rumblings. This gold, however, and this laughter he takes from the heart of the earth. For know this, the heart of the earth is of gold. When the firehound heard this, he could no longer bear listening to me. Shamed, he drew in his tail in a cowed manner and said, "Bow wow," and crawled down into his cave. Thus related Zarathustra. But his disciples barely listened. So great was their desire to tell him of the seamen and the rabbits and the flying man. "What shall I think of that?" said Zarathustra. "Am I a ghost, then? But it must have been my shadow. I suppose you have heard of the wanderer and his shadow? This, however, is clear. I must watch it more closely, else it may yet spoil my reputation." And once more Zarathustra shook his head and wondered. "What shall I think of that?" he said once more. "Why did the ghost cry? It is time. It is high time. High time for what?" Thus spoke Zarathustra.